Welcome to the premiere of House of David. Today, we're kicking off an epic journey, diving deep into the life of one of history's most fascinating and complex figures, David. Before the crown, before the giant, before the kingdom, there was just a boy. A shepherd boy, the youngest of 8 sons, from the small, unassuming town of Bethlehem. Imagine this: you're the youngest, often overlooked, and your daily routine involves watching over sheep in the fields. It sounds simple, almost mundane, right? But this was David's training ground. Out there, under the vast sky, he wasn't just passing the time. He was honing skills that would define his future. He learned courage facing down lions and bears to protect his flock. He developed a deep, unshakable faith, talking to God in the quiet solitude of nature. And he mastered the harp, composing songs and psalms that would echo through millennia. These weren't just hobbies, they were the building blocks of a king. At this time, Israel was in a state of turmoil. The nation's first king, Saul, had started his reign with great promise, but was now struggling, disobedient to God and plagued by his own insecurities. The people were anxious, looking for a leader who could unite them and provide stability. The nation needed a hero, but they had no idea where he would come from. God, however, had a plan. He sent the prophet Samuel on a secret mission. A mission to anoint the next king of Israel. Samuel's journey led him to Bethlehem, to the house of a man named Jesse. When Samuel arrived, he was sure he'd know the chosen one on sight. Jesse presented his sons, one by one. First, the eldest, Eliab. He was tall, handsome, a soldier's build. Samuel thought, surely, this is the one, but God had a different perspective. He told Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. One by one, 7 of Jesse's sons were presented, and one by one, they were passed over. Samuel was confused. Are these all the sons you have? He asked. Jesse hesitated, then admitted, there is still the youngest. He's tending the sheep. Can you feel the drama? The one who wasn't even considered important enough to be called to the ceremony was the very person God had chosen. So, they sent for him, and in walks David, ruddy, with a fine appearance and handsome features. And the Lord said to Samuel, rise and anoint him. This is the one. In that quiet, private moment, with a flask of olive oil, Samuel anointed David. The Spirit of God rushed upon him, setting him apart for a destiny he couldn't yet comprehend. He wasn't crowned in a palace with fanfare and celebration. He was anointed in his own home, surrounded by his surprise family, and then he went back to the sheep. His life didn't change overnight. The anointing was a promise of what was to come, not an instant ticket to the throne. This is where our first episode ends, at the very beginning of an incredible saga. We've met the shepherd boy with a king's heart, chosen not for his status or strength, but for what was inside. His journey from the pasture to the palace is filled with suspense, danger, heartbreak, and triumph. It's a story that proves that your beginnings don't define your destiny, and that true strength comes from the heart. Thanks for joining us for the first chapter of House of David. If you're as excited as I am to see what happens next, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss episode 2. We'll see you then.